Tesla opens V4 supercharger in UK, the first with contactless payment. Tesla has opened the first V4 supercharger stall in the United Kingdom at the Tesla Centre in Tottenham. And it is also the first in the world with contactless payment. The V4 supercharger was unveiled and featured a ribbon-cutting ceremony today by Transport Minister Jesse Norman. According to a report from Driving Electric, the V4 supercharger was first launched in Europe in Harderwijk, the Netherlands, in March. The major changes were appearance, cable length, and maximum charging speed. Tesla V4 supercharger details. Charging speed and cable length. Tesla's new supercharger design features a maxed-out charging speed of 350 kilowatts. But there is expected to be even faster speeds once the automaker rolls out 800-volt architectures across its vehicle lineup. Additionally, the V4 supercharger in this location features a new touchless payment option. In the past, Tesla superchargers have communicated with the vehicle, which has a payment method set as a default, which automatically charges the vehicle owner for the power they use. This one is different. There is a QR code that will take them to the Tesla app. Or they can tap their card on the contactless payment reader to pay for their charging session. The method is shown by Electric Felix below. Tesla's V4 superchargers are making their way across Europe and are enabling EVs from other manufacturers to charge. Tesla first rolled out a pilot program in Europe to test the opening of superchargers to other automakers. And it eventually culminated in the automaker's choice to allow OEMs to adopt the NACS connector in the United States earlier this year. Source: reposted and summarized from Joey Klender at Teslarati. Tesla pushes India to consider lowering EV import tax. Tesla has pushed India to consider lowering the import tax on electric vehicles. Automakers that commit to some local manufacturing may receive a tax of 15% instead of the previous 100%. This will allow Tesla and other manufacturers to import fully assembled cars at modest taxes and study the real demand in the market. India is working on a new electric vehicle policy, Reuters reported, citing several sources familiar with the case. It will reduce import taxes for automakers that commit to some local manufacturing. This issue came to the fore after Tesla began to actively seek to enter the Indian market, and lobbied the government to reduce import taxes. The policy under consideration could allow automakers to import fully assembled electric vehicles into India at a reduced rate of just 15%. This would be a huge step towards progress. At the moment, cars worth more than $40,000 are subject to a 100% tax. For others, the tax is 70%, which is also very high. Reuters claims the information came from two senior Indian government officials. If such a policy is adopted, it could lead to a sharp decrease in the cost of imported electric vehicles. However, local automakers are wary of this and are trying to avoid it. Lower import taxes could help Tesla sell its entire line of models in India, while the local factory will produce the cheaper model. The reduced import taxes will open up the company to import all other vehicles with only a 15% tax. It should be kept in mind that such a policy is only being considered and has not yet been adopted. Ultimately, it may be rejected or the tax rate changed. Source: reposted and summarized from Eva Fox at Tasmanian. Tesla set to access up to $20 billion in revenue. Tesla is set to access up to $20 billion in revenues from its recent supercharger deals with Ford, General Motors, and various other automakers. Dan Ives of Wedbush said in a note this morning, Tesla's supercharger network is the most robust and expansive on the planet, and earlier this summer, It gained massive attention when it struck deals with various OEMs to allow their EVs to access the charging infrastructure starting in spring 2024. While Aptera was the first to have access by adopting Tesla's North American Charging Standard, or NACS, connector. Ford and General Motors followed suit in two announcements that shook the EV industry. These partnerships then catalyzed various other automakers, including Rivian, Volvo, Polestar, and others, to make the same move. The adoption of NACS is set to bring Tesla major revenue increases through the rest of the decade. According to Wedbush's Dan Ives, who is a top analyst covering the automaker and the sector as a whole, Tesla's NACS contributing to revenue. Ives wrote in a note this morning to investors. To dive deeper into this sum of the parts valuation, we modeled projected out Tesla's supercharger network, taking into account access and revenues from other OEMs using stations across the United States. Ultimately, we estimate that Tesla's supercharger business will be roughly 3 to 6% of total revenues, translating to a $10 billion to $20 billion business by 2030. Ives wrote in the note that while the supercharger network opening to OEMs is a major part of the Tesla story, it is just that. Strong production figures, a thriving energy business, continuous improvement on the side of the development of autopilot and full self-driving, an unmatched battery ecosystem, and increased production and scale scope are all contributing to a strong financial sheet for Tesla. We believe Tesla is in a prime position to further capitalize on the EV transformation taking place. As part of the government's plan to reduce carbon emissions to zero by 2050. Ives wrote, Cybertruck deliveries highly anticipated in addition to the strong revenue stream that will come with the opening of superchargers to OEMs. Other Tesla projects are also set to drive profitability, notably the Cybertruck, with the delivery numbers representing its flagship model fleet. The much-anticipated Cybertruck remains a hot commodity in the market, with the company taking in 1.5 to 1.8 million reservations, Ives writes. Elon Musk teases a production candidate Cybertruck at Giga Texas. However, recent figures show over 1.9 million reservations held for the Cybertruck currently, while preparing for the launch in FY3Q23. The Cybertruck puts TSLA in a great position to capitalize on the growing need for electric pickups, with the electric truck market growing at a 31% CAGR through 2032. Full self-driving and its contributions to profits. Tesla's full self-driving suite is another major contributor to the automaker's growing profitability and will drive the automaker's total addressable market upward. Continuing to refine the suite's performance through neural network training, the suite, along with autopilot, has already contributed over 150 million miles of data. There are more improvements on the way. Last week, the company announced its V12 update, an FSD package with end-to-end AI for improved driving smoothness through turns, while enhancing both decision-making and detection in TSLA's journey with the aim of achieving full autonomy this year, Ives writes. Ives holds a $350 price target and an outperform rating on Tesla stock. Source: reposted and summarized from Joey Klender at Teslarati. Tesla Drive-in movie theater diner approved for construction. Tesla Drive-in movie theater diner approved for construction, according to documents. The place will have 32 supercharging stalls, a restaurant, and 2 movie clip screens. Elon Musk's idea for a futuristic diner and drive-in theater conceived for Hollywood is getting closer to being realized. Tesla applied for a building permit in April and has now received a permit. According to documents from the LA Department of Building and Safety reviewed by Teslarati, the location is approved for development. Musk has long been talking about this supercharger station, which will offer restaurant service and a drive-in theater in Los Angeles. This idea came to him in 2018 and is now closer to being realized. In May 2022, Tesla officially filed plans for the Diner and Drive-In Theater, located at 7001 Santa Monica Boulevard. The project site is 0.565 acres and hosts a 5,920 square foot Shakey's Pizza restaurant. For the construction of the Tesla restaurant, the existing structure should be demolished. The site is located on a designated commercial corner lot within the State Enterprise Zone and within a transit priority area. In April, Tesla applied for a building permit. The proposed project will include the construction of a restaurant diner with 2 levels. Approximately 3,800 square feet enclosed lower level and a 5,500 square feet outdoor seating and enclosed food preparation area. Electric vehicle charging station which will have 32 spaces with chargers. 2 screens for showing movie clips. Tesla has filed multiple applications to build a planned restaurant in the city of Los Angeles this year, with 6 of them in April. They refer to the demolition of the old building located on the site, and electricity, ventilation, and sewerage systems for the new building. In addition, Tesla made revisions to the design of the planned building and applied for the placement of the supercharger stalls and the necessary equipment for this. Although the design of the diner was shown last year, along with documents, it is worth bearing in mind that this was not the final result, and work on the design is ongoing. However, it is expected the team is close. Source: reposted and summarized from Eva Fox at Tasmanian. Tesla investors poised to recover $12,000 each. A group of Tesla shareholders may be poised to recover an average of $12,000 apiece over losses that were incurred over CEO Elon Musk's funding secured fiasco in 2018. At the time, Musk announced on X, then known as Twitter, that he had secured funding to take Tesla private. The CEO's tweet triggered a lot of volatility in TSLA stock, and it also resulted in Musk getting sued by the Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC). As part of the settlement with the SEC, Musk and Tesla agreed to pay a $20 million fine each. Musk also relinquished his role as chairman of Tesla's board of directors. Musk would later state during a TED conference last year that he was forced to concede to the SEC unlawfully. "I was forced to admit that I lied to save Tesla's life, and that's the only reason," Musk said. "I'm considering taking Tesla private at $420. Funding secured." As noted in a Bloomberg News report, the SEC is looking to pay TSLA investors the $40 million plus interest that Musk and Tesla agreed to as civil penalties. The SEC had reportedly asked a judge for the final approval of the plan in a Wednesday filing. A total of 3,350 claims would be paid out of the fund that was set up from Musk's settlement if the plan is approved. This amounts to an average of just under $12,400 per investor. The judge noted on Thursday that he would sign off on the plan on September 1st, provided that Elon Musk or Tesla do not issue any objections. Considering Musk's recent comments about the case, however, it would not be surprising if the CEO or Tesla objects to the SEC's plan. Thank goodness. The wisdom of the people has prevailed. I am deeply appreciative of the jury's unanimous finding of innocence in the Tesla 420 take-private case. The SEC has estimated that Tesla shareholders lost about $80 million from the volatility of TSLA stock following Musk's 2018 tweet. Earlier this year, an expert witness for a class of Tesla investors estimated that the losses are actually about $12 billion. An amount that appears to have been based on the losses of all TSLA shareholders over 10 days after Musk's August 7, 2018 tweet. The SEC's $80 million estimate, on the other hand, covered just over 27 hours after Musk's tweet. It also excluded options and derivative trades, and considered only common TSLA stock. Not every eligible investor filed a claim as well, Bloomberg noted. The TSLA investors in the class action case ultimately lost at trial back in February, after a jury cleared Musk of the claim that the CEO defrauded investors with his 2018 tweet. The investors, however, are appealing. Source: reposted and summarized from Simon Alvarez at Teslarati.